disembowelment, acclamation, horrified reactions. The action continued with extreme brutality. The crowd grew increasingly excited. This is a vivisection ritual. The pain was imaginable. In Mayan civilization, priests held supreme status. Even the king held them in awe. How did they achieve such exalted status? Return to the plot. Cut to the protagonist. They were already terrified. Cut to a panoramic shot. On the far left stood the king and queen. The axe slowly enters the frame. The next second, the decapitation occurs. The camera then keys violently. The scene shifts to a first-person perspective from the audience. The priest holds up the man's head. Even though the gore is avoided, the awe is still chilling. The camera shifts to the protagonist. A close-up shot. His emotions begin to fluctuate. Alternating shots appear. His eyes are unfocused. Close-ups of his movements. But this sentence leaves his companions baffled. Doesn't seem to be something they can decide. The camera quickly cuts to a close-up. The sound of rapid breathing is added later. The audience is drawn into the protagonist's psychological process. The camera pans from the old man to the child. One of the chubby boys stands out. This race seems to have an innate love for blood and violence. Another cut to a close-up shot. The camera slowly pans downward. The priest looks up at the sky. The sun began to change. That was the familiar total solar eclipse. A total solar eclipse occurs on average once every year and a half, but in the same location. It will take approximately 300 years for it to reappear. The following eye contact scene holds a hidden meaning. I will explain each one individually. Please forgive any inaccuracies. The king gestured to continue the ceremony, but the king seemed unsure of what was going to happen next. He turned his head to look at his colleagues. The camera captured their gaze. Their concern wasn't the ritual itself, but how to consolidate their power through it. The colleague here understood the priest's meaning, and turned his head to glance at the sun. This shows that the Maya, through long-term observation, had long understood the cycle of total solar eclipses. They knew that a total solar eclipse would be short-lived and will soon be over. The camera cuts back to the king's face. His expression was filled with a hint of confusion. Priest began to build up his emotions, pretending to be able to talk to the sun, waiting for his colleagues' reactions. Back to the protagonist. He remained perplexed. Start to exert force. His goal is to delay until the total solar eclipse. The queen and the king looked puzzled. Panorama. The light gradually dimmed. The total eclipse began. The camera zoomed in for a close-up. Guide the crowd to look toward the sun. Cut to the sun. A total solar eclipse is occurring. The crowd held their breath. Their eyes fixed. The sky darkened. The priest's actions grew more bizarre. The image became clearer, but the atmosphere grew more oppressive. The camera focused again on the sun. It was almost completely obscured. Close up the king's expression, a mixture of shock and fear. The camera quickly cuts to the protagonist's reaction. He too is stunned by this bizarre sight. The last ray of sunlight is swallowed up. The king slowly turns his head. He looks at the people below. The camera cuts a subjective perspective. Everyone is stunned. Panic and chaos follow. Humanity's fear of the unknown is completely ignited. The camera returns to the priest. The goal has been achieved. Cut to the king's expression. The emotional tension reaches its peak. This is the perfect moment to establish their prestige. The king remains skeptical. The camera cuts back to the sky. The priest's timing was perfect. Light reappears. Cheers erupt. The king and queen ascend the altar. They receive the worship of their subjects. This is exactly how Mayan priests consolidate their power.